OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? How we all doing? It doesn't feel like summer in the UK, but hey, we are here to talk all things SummerSlam. It has happened. Many belts changed. Many shocking things happened. So how's everyone feeling after the pay-per-view and just in general, how we all doing?
So good.
Arguably one of the best we've had this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a very strong pay-per-view. There is so much that we have to talk about on this episode. Like, a lot of us have had theories that we've sat on for a while come to fruition. We had interesting storylines of who won, who didn't win. I'm just going to throw it out there. For me, SummerSlam was the Judgment Day more than any other storyline coming from this.
Yeah.
And
The Judgment Slam.
I'm hurt. I like where it went. I'm hurt. But yeah.
Hot take? I don't know anyone thinks hot take. I think this was the best SummerSlam of all time. I really do. I think consistency-wise, I think the fact that every result was correct, like from a non-biased point of view, I think the stories progressed really well. In terms of hype, it lived up to the hype. We had some great returns. We had some amazing matches, title changes that needed to happen. I think personally, like consistency-wise, it was the best SummerSlam ever.
For sure.
I think within the last 5 years, for sure. I think it gave us everything that we needed. A lot of the decisions, as you say, needed to be made, needed to be changed. Yeah. It's like that mid-year reset.
Yeah, I was going to say, it definitely felt like a reset and like a closure of lot of storylines and then new storylines progressing from that as well. And to go straight into that, we're going to first discuss the women's match. What did we all think of Liv versus Rhea?
Rhea versus Liv?
Yeah.
Did you say Rhea versus Liv?
Yes, I said Rhea versus Liv.
What
really feeding back again.
There's some cracking in the background.
Oh yeah, I can hear that. Honestly, like with Rhea versus Liv, I think it was one of those situations where I think we all knew something was going to happen, but like we all actually wanted it to happen as well because like the story Judgment Day development like is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, James in that situation.
Oh right, okay, it was G's mic. Oh right,
no,
fair enough.
It stopped crackling since you've muted because I've just noticed you muted. It stopped crackling.
Oh, you me?
No. I was saying G's mic was getting feedback.
Oh right, okay, my bad. Right, yeah. So sorry. Yeah, like I said, like I think we all knew it was probably going to happen. We all knew Dom was going to play like a big role in the match, but I mean, I expected it to happen because I pretty much last week on the podcast called the Judgment Day storyline, and it went exactly as I said it was going to. But that didn't affect my enjoyment of it.
Yeah, I think the match was quite like just to add on your point there. I think the match was stellar. I had no problem with the match. I will give credit where credit is due. I do think Liv wrestled quite well in that match. She had a lot more fluidness with Rhea. I know them two are tagged together, so the chemistry was already in the ring, but I could just sense that kind of we're going balls to the wall. We're going like we actually do hate each other. And I've got to give MVP for the whole pay-per-view for me was Rhea. I'm sorry, the fact of you had hey, my shoulder's out. Doctors could come up to me and be like, yo, this match is done, you're out. She was like,
right? Yeah.
See this desk. Let me just and carried on. Like, actually, so good that she just went, right, no, there's a bigger picture here, there's a story to tell here. Screw my shoulder being damaged. I'ma make it work.
The way she just popped that shoulder back in.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Made me feel sick.
I felt so sick.
I didn't even know she did it on purpose at first because, like, obviously, you know, Bliss can like dislocate her elbow. I was like, has she done that on purpose or not? I wasn't sure, and then she popped it back in. I was like, oh my god.
I saw a lot of people tweeting Buddy Matthews and Rhea's both shoulders spots where, because Buddy Matthews a few months back had the same situation where the doc literally assisted him and he re-popped it in. So it was like, cool, both these guys have dodgy shoulders, but don't care.
Just to show that it runs in the family, them good genetics be getting you somewhere. But yeah, someone go check up on Rhea, please, because
I have to say Rhea's emotion,
literally betrayal of the year. Betrayal.
It made me cry. You guys saw it on the stream. Like, I literally was crying at the end, and obviously made my very fair comparison of why would you leave a perfectly good steak at home and go for some shitty mac and cheese.
Check yourself, Miss Courtney. God damn it.
I agreed with Courtney as soon as she said that. I'm just laughing and I was
not wrong,
is that too real though?
I'm not wrong.
No. I mean, not gonna lie, I probably would have picked Liv as well. But,
bro, I'm sorry.
They're both good-looking women.
I'm sorry. I've watched enough Scooby-Doo and had the Hex Girls as a crush since I was a kid. I'm always picking Rhea. Goth tier is just top tier.
As Machine Gun Kelly, who we'll get into because he was on the show once, said he's in love with an emo girl.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what was funny though. I was talking to my Madre about the match, right? And I was telling her what happened, and Dom turned on, Rhea, and she was like, "Oh, that's not something Rey Mysterio would do," and I was like, "No." But it was something Eddie Guerrero would do, like cheating steel, baby. Uncle Eddie's looking down, and Uncle Eddie's very proud.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say.
I think the best thing about that storytelling as well was the camera work was so perfect. The way that Dom, I literally shouted, "Dom, slid the freaking chair in," and everyone's like, "Oh no,
I haven't even spotted that."
Yeah, no. It was like, "Oh no, it's to help Rhea," and then I literally was like, "He's distracting the ref," and as soon as Rhea got hit, he jumped away so the ref could notice it. I was like, well, that's
a smug look on his face.
But then it was the smug look said it all. It's like, we didn't do it by an accident. The smug look and him finally lifting Liv up. I was like, yep, cool. Now we know.
The growth of Dominic Mysterio over the past 2 years has been absolutely.
It needs to be studied.
Yeah,
he's coming up there to 2 years since Clash of the Castle since he turned heel, and from then to now, he is maybe the best heel in the company. He is so good.
Please don't give him a baby face for him. Just
I don't think he needs.
He's that good of a heel that he can't even talk. The crowd don't let him.
Exactly. This is what I was gonna say. You know how some people just fit perfectly in that heel category. Like when they turned MJF babyface-ish, a lot of people fell out of love with him because he's just that perfect as a heel. For me, Dom is that in WWE. I can't see anyone else on such a short tenure like Dom, only being 2 years in, being such a good heel like he has.
What you just said about MJF then is exactly how I feel about Randy Orton. I hate it when Randy's a face. I don't like it.
I'm the same. I really struggle with Randy as a face.
Matt Riddle, that was good.
Yeah, he's good, I suppose. Yeah, but Randy is a heel. He's such a good arsehole.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I can't see Randy as this lovable babyface guy. Like right now, when I see him with Cody, I'm like, right, when are you sneaking that RKO in and actually turning into the future?
When are you taking after your t-shirt, and when are you going to be striking first, my guy? But I own the shirt. It literally says strike first.
Exactly. And it's just like, oh yes, every week I am best friends with Cody Rhodes. I used to teach that guy, so I will defend him. And I'm like, Randy, you would also beat the crap out of him out any
Kick him in the head, Randy.
I don't want to see this. You're not the same legend killer that we all are well aware of, honestly. Also, I just want to go back to your point really quickly about camera angles. Can we talk about how this was the first show that actually had ref cameras during?
I loved that.
I loved it. I thought it was such a nice ad.
Yeah,
I agree.
When we get into the Seth Rollins one, I think there's been some footage that's come out since from the ref cameras that are so funny. WWE's put it on their social medias and they've done it as a POV style, and all you can hear is Seth Rollins in the background. The moment, I'll quickly say it now, the moment where he bends down to go and sort his knee, Drew looks at him and he's like, "Yep, bad knee, Can't really do much about this." I don't know if you've seen them, Reese, but you need to go out of your way to find them because they're so funny.
I've seen a couple of them. Please tell me there's because they're missing an opportunity if they don't. Please tell me there's a referee angle of him getting GTS'd.
Oh, there is.
Oh,
There is.
I think so, but there's an angle where like Punk's throwing Drew's head into the ring steps, and you can hear Punk go to like Seth, like, "Is this legal?" He's like, "Yeah, go for it, Seth."
Yeah.
My favorite one was where you just see Drew like sucker punch like Punk in the corner, and all you hear is Seth go, "You can hit harder than that."
Yeah.
And that's what got me.
That moment where like the bell rings and they start going at it, you see him just like run away.
Yeah,
really
he just
quickly.
darts. Yeah.
He's honestly, he is such a fucking icon. I love that man.
Do you know what it gave me the vibes of? You know when you watch Hunger Games and it's that camera scene where all of them run towards the weapons? It was the same kind of just Seth dart into a corner. He was like, "Nope."
I literally was on the outside and he turned around and just started tying his shoe. That was funny.
Yeah.
But speaking of speed and getting fast in the ring and running around, let's talk about that Braun Breaker match though. Quick,
position, my guy.
Man hit the spears, making history there for me because that's probably one of the quickest call-ups to NXT to get in some crazy push that he's had.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not deserved. If that makes
sense.
100%.
Yeah,
you get some people that come up. You get some people that come up to the main roster who kind of get. I'm not going to give any specific examples because people will call me a bitch, and I, don't really need that this morning. But there's a lot of people that come up and they get everything given to them super quickly that it doesn't feel like it's deserved. Whereas, like we've seen Braun Breaker on NXT for a long time, and we've been saying for ages, like, hey, he needs to be called up, and he wasn't. And obviously, that extra time in NXT really did him well to the point where he can now go up to the main roster, and everything is kind of just naturally coming to him. Yeah. We were talking about it last week. That promo that he cut, I said, you guys, if you give him a couple of minutes to talk, he'll tell you why he's great rather than showing you. But also, it's not like he can't show you while he was great. And that match was really good. And I actually really enjoyed the match itself because obviously we'd seen prior to his match starting that there's a whole bunch of legends in a suite and his dad and his uncle were there. So it was really awesome that as well too. His dad and his uncle got to witness. It was good.
He's in great company as well.
And also becoming the new IC champ.
Yeah, exactly. He's in amazing company in terms of like what both of you were saying. In terms of NXT people coming up and straight winning a championship, there's only two people that come to mind, and one of them's Charlotte, and the other one is Finn Balor. I think he came up and won the Universal title a couple of months afterwards.
Kevin Owens as well, US title against John Cena. Yeah. That's the biggest one for me.
And that's not to say those ones aren't deserved at all. Those are just some notable examples. But there have been times where some people have come up and everything's kind of just come too quickly to them, and it's like.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That doesn't work.
Perfect example would be Aleister Black and Ricochet when they were first called up. A lot of things were just instantly pushed for them. They were pushed as a tag team, and then when they tried to do solo, they were pushed as quickly. I'll get one on the US title, get one moving to the Intercontinental. Oh, we're going to keep them in the same feud.
This just felt right though, dude. Honestly, this Braun Breaker push, it's been so good. They've done so well in such a short amount of time of making him look like a beast, making him look like an absolutely intimidating force on the mid card, making him an actual viable threat to Sami Zayn, who did just beat Gunther.
Yes.
So it's difficult to have someone in such a short amount of time be on that level and have people turn around and go, you know what? This guy could probably beat Sammy, and that's exactly what he did, and that's what they've been very successful in building up Braun. I'm so happy that he's the IC champion. Like I say, there was a lot of matches on this card. Every single one of them for me that felt right, and this was one of the biggest ones. Braun Breaker absolutely needed to win this. Highlight for me always is and always will be in a Braun Breaker match when he hits the Frankensteiner. I just think it looks beautiful whenever he does it.
He does such a good version of it as well. His looks so sharp.
It's nice to see
he really does.
Fresh champion, not a previous champion, because now there's so many people that Braun can go after or can go after Braun because he's not faced half of the main roster. So we've got the likes of Sheamus, IC champion, and things like that. So it's a lot of new, fresh feuds ready to happen.
Definitely. And I'll say this as well. There's a lot of people on Raw who were faces who really need to be given a title shot. I think there's quite a lot of heel people there as well that could give him a viable match. Like I say, Bronson Reed versus Braun Breaker is something I would love to see.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say
Sheamus.
that. Wow. Sheamus.
Sheamus versus Braun, great match. I'd love to see. Pete Dunne versus Braun Breaker, another match I would really want to see.
Ludwig.
Kaiser, he has a claim to that title as well. He's been in the mid card wanting that championship for a while as well. There's so many matches that Braun could have at the moment, and I think it frees up Sammy to go do what he needs to do.
I think Tyler Bate would be really an interesting one when he comes back after healing and injury.
Yeah.
Where do we think Sammy goes now? Does Sammy go up to the main?
I think he goes to SmackDown.
I've got an idea.
I think he goes to SmackDown.
Yeah.
So they'd set it up this week on Raw.
Oh, yeah.
That next week he's going to be getting a 2 out of 3 falls rematch with Braun Breaker. I think he loses that. And considering the Judgment Day split has now happened, and some of the I'm just going to say it, some people have been calling it the Budget Day.
Yeah.
We're going to name it the Budget Day now. So the Budget Day has a few of the members of Judgment Day have been causing issues with Jey Uso, even though Damian and Rhea had said not to, right? I can see them still trying to cause issues with Jey Uso. Sami Zayn teams up with them, and then they win the tag titles off Judgment Day.
Okay.
Yeah, that was going to be a lot of what I was going to say. So Sammy for me now, as we've been saying this for a few champions, and we'll probably make an actual full episode of this, Sammy always comes across better as the chaser for the title, never actually holding the title. I think with someone like Jey Uso, them reforming their friendship, especially with what's going on in the bloodline, them having the belt makes it a very unique opportunity, especially if some Survivor Series is not just going to be a War Games. They are going to have champions v champions, because then you've got obviously Bloodline versus Jey Uso and then Sami Zayn.
That's how you set that up, though. That's how you set
I
up.
like that.
Yeah, and that's a very good setup. Like, that's me adding to what you were saying there, Cole, because I think what you said there sums it up very much how I saw the storyline going, especially with how they had it on Raw. Because they're like, Jay being like, yo, I got a surprise. We're going to be challenging the Judgment Day.
Are you sure that Jay wants to go with Sammy, though? Because I think Jay would be chasing another woman at this point.
Oh, yeah, no, he can read his DMs out.
He can do both.
He's got a number.
It's like the Aussie Muscle ad. Why not both? Why can't he do both?
I know, right?
As well, too, can I also mention how, like, on Raw, Sammy and Jay did not mention Roman at all.
Yeah, they did. They didn't. And I think it's going to lead up to... I have a feeling there's going to be a segment where, I don't know, Paul Heyman shows up backstage and he goes into Jey Uso's locker room or something, or we get Sammy and Jay, they're in the ring and they just won the tag titles or something, and like Paul Heyman comes out to recruit him. Also, I think the end goal is to get Jay and Sammy on SmackDown. I think that's what's going to happen. I think there's going to be a trade at some point. Maybe Randy Orton's going to move over to Raw if he's challenging Gunther. For 2 top stars, you need 2 top stars. So Randy Orton and someone else from SmackDown traded for Sammy and Jay.
So, to add to that, Wrestling Observer confirmed Paul Heyman is scheduled to make an appearance on SmackDown
for Friday.
And Roman has also been scheduled. So that's Paul Heyman and Roman. So your announcement that you're on about there, that could potentially be it. That could be a situation where they're like, Paul Heyman's like, look, I've called some people to help out. There's also now, since SummerSlam, very interesting news that has came out that Zilla is also being looked as interested, and Hikuleo has already been signed to WWE and sat there waiting. So
I can't wait for him to debut. Honestly, I
think just to add extra tension, I think it'd be super interesting if Hikuleo doesn't join his brothers and he joins Roman's side. I think that's...
I can see it going the other way, especially now that Jacob Fatu could possibly be injured. I think we're bringing Hikuleo as the biggest enforcer.
This is true.
Well, apparently that's kayfabe. Apparently the injury's kayfabe. Apparently
I heard he was wearing a big boot. The whole time.
That was for him selling it. So apparently the whole thing was, they said to Fatu, we want you to sell the injury when you do the table spot so you can't get involved with the Roman situation. He knew a lot of people want to go meet up with him after SummerSlam. So what he did was he staged to wear the boot. So if fans came up and seen him, they're like, "Oh no, you're genuinely injured," and adds to that storyline.
He's playing the system.
Yeah, he's playing the system there because a lot of people, like a lot of the insiders, have already said, like they turned around and said to Fatu, "We want you to sell the injury," but they never said to what extent. And
we shooted our way into a work, brother. I didn't really know.
I know what Jacob's like. I know how Jacob is selling when he's done his MLW stuff because I've watched him for a while. The dude can sell like he is genuinely hurt. There was a previous spot where he landed where it looked like his head smacked off a barrier, and the guy genuinely looked like he's concussed himself for like 10 minutes while he was waiting on the outside. He can sell incredibly. So we'll see where it goes. I hope he's genuinely not injured. If he is, speedy recovery. But yeah.
With any luck, I don't want anyone injured. Forget that.
Oh yeah, of course. But,
and for those of you who prey on people's injuries, you can fuck off.
I just want Paul Heyman to go around like kind of like a recruitment job, kind of like an Ocean's 11, where he sees people people see him who he doesn't like, and he goes, "You win," and he goes, "You son of a bitch, I'm in," and he like like the proper manly handshakes, gets them all back, original bloodline. Oh, the handshakes would be so manly, goddammit.
Well, speaking of people who don't like people, some people go so far into they make a lawsuit against them and also try and take them to court because they break their car. Let's get into arguably one of my favorite matches of the night and one that I enjoyed very much, the back and forth, Logan versus LA Knight.
Can I start, please?
Go ahead.
Did I not say in the stream, I said to myself, guys, I've got something that I really want to see. This is Cleveland, Ohio. This is the hometown of Logan Paul. Do we also know who else is from Cleveland, Ohio?
Yeah, you called MJ.
Machine Gun Kelly. And then the boy comes out with his bloody hood on, and then it's Machine Gun Kelly. Like,
I did find that really cool that we were just nonchalant, like, oh, MGK could make an appearance. That'd be interesting. And then like halfway through the pay-per-view, we're just like, wait, is that? And then you're like, it's MGK. Like, you were so happy you called it. Yeah.
Hold on. It's this
I was really happy to see him. I thought it was an easy to get. Like he's a big wrestling fan, first of all. So
last time we saw him, he got thrown off a fucking ramp by Kevin Owens.
But I mean, he's also been like heavily involved in 2K. Was it 2K23 or 2K24? He was like one of the DLC playable characters.
No, but
I think it was him. It was him last year, right? And then Post Malone this year. Yeah.
But also, as well too, he was the one who curated he curated the soundtrack for 2022.
That was it. I knew
that was one of the best soundtracks as well.
A lot of his songs from Tickets to My Downfall feature on there as well. So.
Yeah.
Great album.
Yeah, very good album.
Very good.
So with that, I think it was really cool to have MGK. I did like the whole fact they snuck, like, obviously what we were all going to talk about. A knuckle duster necklace, I think was pretty interesting.
Also,
Logan's always had that storyline of he always needs the brass knuckles, and that came to be his downfall. No pun intended.
Way well done.
But the biggest thing to take away from that night, and I genuinely am so happy. LA Knight fans, finally about damn time. All do your years. He's paid off the man's graft.
He does. I
think this and the Braun Breaker match were two of the most important matches on the card, just because they're the two people who needed to win that match. They didn't just have they wanted to win. The fans wanted it to happen, but momentum wise, where they were in the career wise, obviously LA Knight had his momentum stifled since he lost to Roman last year. Braun Breaker just come up to the main roster, lost to Sammy. Both of them needed a victory to get back on the fan side to make them more legit, and it happened. And I was over the moon for LA Knight. That was absolutely unbelievable. I could always picture him with the title on his shoulder, and to see it on SmackDown this week, hopefully, he's going to be great.
Yeah, but as well too, it's like I was going to say, what was I going to say? Honestly, I've lost my train of thought, but I'm really happy for LA Knight. I think it was really well. Oh, actually, no, never mind. Found it. Really well deserved. And the thing is, this match happened straight after the Braun Breaker match, and we were like, there is absolutely no way the title is going to change hands back to back. But we had
we said that, didn't we?
We had 3 titles change back to back.
That's why I voted with Logan Paul for this one, because I was like, I can't see them changing both.
Yeah. No,
So,
I think it definitely is well deserved for LA Knight. I'm so happy for him. I feel like this is the perfect title for him to win on the main roster as well too, because I feel like he's going to do a really great job, not only promo wise, but as well as match wise too. So
agreed, totally agree.
I think the biggest thing for it as well is that it is the definition of a wrestler can bet on themselves and do everything they damn need to. Like, he didn't sit back and let bad booking or the fans ever turning on him or some of his rougher matches let him lose what he had. He was authentic, kept pushing himself to a point where they were like, look, we see the work you're doing. We're going to pay it off. I've argued the point since LA Knight had that match with Roman Reigns. I said he was a megastar in his name. I said he is the next it guy. You need to slap a title on him at some point. It's better later than never, and I'm so happy he can now show it off, because I think a tournament style thing for him will be interesting as well, like have a number 1 contenders match, because there's a lot of talent that haven't gone against LA Knight. If we actually sit down and look at it, there is a lot of talent that hasn't gone actually against him. And once again, it's an NXT guy that got called up, didn't get the greatest start up. We don't talk about the disaster he had.
No, we don't talk about Triple M over here.
Yeah. Hey, MXM is great now though. Like
I know, but I'm saying back then.
Oh yeah, back then. Yeah, back then.
Yeah.
Yikes. But once again, it's a guy who just turned back to his NXT style, knew what he had when he had NXT, and just did perfect. I think there needs to be so much more going forward with this, and it's working so great.
Exactly.
I think I said this last week as well, like just to add to your point on SmackDown. I think I said LA Knight needs to win because it'd be interesting for the mid card on SmackDown as well, because there's a lot of heels on in SmackDown mid card that go up great against LA Knight. Like one of them, to my mind, Santos Escobar, another one, Carmelo Hayes. 2 people right there you could have a great feud with off the bat.
Yeah, and as well too, you know how we had that like 4-way match at Rumble with him, Roman, Kevin and Randy. You could have Kevin versus LA Knight individually, because they are 2 of the better US champs that we've had. Yeah. Kevin could be like, I literally put this title on the map. You could do the same thing with Randy Orton as well too. Randy Orton could put over LA Knight individually as well too.
There's plenty of people now for LA Knight to go against for the
Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
I'd love
Ciampa. There's plenty of good matches in view.
Give me an NXT heel Ciampa.
Yeah,
on SmackDown.
Give me a heel Ciampa versus LA Knight, and you've got all my damn money. Like that'd be so worth everything.
Yeah, because we don't talk about what happened on SmackDown the night before SummerSlam. We're not going to get into it.
I think it's good. I think we should get into it. I think it was great.
No, we're not talking about it.
I thought it was great.
No.
Best moment. Better than the whole summer.
We go to that. So
before we get into the next match, though, can I just do a quick shout out, because like he's always here every single time. We might not read the comments because obviously we just keep going on and on and on with ourselves, but shout out to Paul, man. You are always here for every single video.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah.
He's here more than I'm here.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know, honestly, dude. We love you, dude. We see you in the comments, and we just like obviously we just carry on talking.
As well.
All the lives. We'd love to have you on an episode of the podcast, but it means the world that you like support the channel so much, and you've done it from the very beginning. So shout out to you, dude. Honestly, people like you is the reason why we're here now, because like we wouldn't have the support that we had without people like you.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to quickly say that halfway through the card.
No, I appreciate that. No, like it's always good to shout out like our community. Like genuinely, I love the fact to see our communities but been doing nothing but growing, and like seeing the guys that we've known outside on TikTok also following our own journeys, and then still coming back to our channel as well to see us all together is great. this is what we all love doing as a group and also doing our own separate things. Obviously, you'll see all of us doing our own different journeys and our own different opinions of wrestling, but we all come together here. So you get a bit of flavor of everyone. And it's great that you guys come and watch us. We really do appreciate it.
Speaking of flavor, what flavor of the Neapolitan ice cream are you? Seeing as we were talking about it on the stream the other day.
Oh, because I was talking about the chocolate.
You were. And then G said chocolate's the worst flavor.
Yeah, no, chocolate is the worst in a Neapolitan.
Mm.
I always prefer. So when Neapolitan is made, strawberry always tastes so much better than the vanilla and the chocolate they put next to it. And I
Strawberry
hate
is
that.
the best.
Strawberry's always top tier in my opinion. But
Strawberry is the best.
when you get something sweet and something bubbly like a Neapolitan, like a Tiffany Stratton with her pink and bubbliness, you also then get the basic, the sadness that happens when you go to get this rich flavor and it just tastes like a vanilla.
I'm trying to figure out where the fuck he's going with this one.
You feel lost
right?
you feel lost in the moment. You feel like
You're trying to tell us your vanilla.
No,
is he trying to tell us Bailey's vanilla? Because I feel like this is where he's going, and I'm not happy
Bailey's
about it.
title picture was,
I'm not down for that.
Bailey's title picture was vanilla. It had everything to be the top tier flavor of strawberry, but her defenses, in my eyes, very much came as a vanilla. They didn't book her well enough, and it just felt they gave her fodder to go against Nia Jax. But I would love to know what your guys' thoughts were there. I feel like a lot of us are going to be the same, but let me know. I just think
after all the bullshit that G and I went through online for advocating for Bailey so hard, this feels like a bit of a slap in the face.
No,
not gonna lie.
100%.
Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie to you guys. Do I think Nia Jax put on a great match and is going to be a great champion? Absolutely, because we've been talking about this for months. The groundwork that she's been putting in since she came back, the matches she's been putting on, the promos she's been cutting, just her in-ring work itself and the self-development that she's done on herself as well too. Like, she's been open about it. She's lost a lot of weight since she's been back, which is absolutely fantastic. Anybody who wants to better themselves in that way, good for them. Do I like that it's at the expense of Bailey? Absolutely not. Did I like the fake cash-in that Tiffany did to distract Bailey? Yeah, of course. Do I think that was staged between her and Nia? Potentially, but I'm not too sure.
I think she's going to say it was. I don't know if it will be, though.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
I don't know, the way they were stood in the ring after looked like it was staged.
They kind of like dragged it out for so long, making it look like Tiffany was going to do something. But I'd said this to you guys last week. Why give Tiffany a brand new briefcase if you're just going to have her cash in the following day? Like, they can drag this out for a long time. I want to see them do it. I want to see them have a Carmella length, Money in the Bank holder, or even, like I said last week, up until WrestleMania.
Just be a wall breaker, just be the record breaker. Hold it to WrestleMania.
Who's to say that a woman can't cash in at WrestleMania? No one's done it.
Yeah, exactly. I want that.
We've only had two people do it.
Be the first.
Yeah, we've only had Seth and Damien do it. Why can't we have Tiffany do it?
I agree.
I think what was really cool as well, they didn't sugarcoat the potential of teasing that cash in, because they had that moment where Nia's been lifted up, Tiff's hand's been lifted up, and if you watch where Tiff's eye darted it didn't dart to Nia, it darted to the belt, and she was like, she looked like she was questioning whether to or not.
I am mildly concerned for a couple of superstars. I do think we need to send them off for an optometrist appointment because they've got a bit of a wandering eye. You've got, Tiffany and Randy wandering eye with that championship.
Yeah.
Maybe there's someone in medical for WWE. Maybe there's someone in medical for WWE who can look into that, just because we wouldn't want that to be their ideas in their head, So
it's not just for titles as well. It was like Xavier Woods was wandering over to the Final Testament a little bit on Monday.
Well, he hasn't been asked for many weeks.
Don't you dare do that to me. Like, I am so scared of them potentially turning Xavier heel. I want to see
about that.
Exactly. I want to. Part of me wants to see it.
The New Day be heel.
I'd be devastated. I would absolutely devastated because they said they'd never break them up. And I know nothing lasts forever in wrestling, but I would be so devastated.
Yeah.
Like, especially if Big E's not there.
So this was the thing I was saying to I was saying this to Keaton, because obviously me and Keaton work together. We talk about these theories a lot. I said, what if they do the angle they did with Kevin Owens and the New Day for a while, whereas Odyssey Jones fills the spot because one of them's injured, but it's actually Odyssey Jones that goes and beats them down after. What if
I could see that happening.
What if Odyssey Jones actually is working with Final Testament and joins Final Testament at some point? Like he's doing a double work.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. I honestly, in my opinion, I will get back to the match in a minute because I have a lot to say about Bayley versus Nia. But honestly, in my opinion, I don't know if this is controversial or anything. I think the Final Testament are severely underutilized on Raw.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll say this as well. And it's not because the crap. It's really not. Karrion Kross cuts fantastic vignettes in the back. I think he does
what
great.
he did this week on Raw was fantastic.
It was
Exactly.
great. You've got him in the ring who is solid anyway, by the way, Karrion Kross. It's not hard to put Karrion Kross to someone intimidating in the ring. He's great on the microphone. He's got the look. You've got Scarlett there with just her presence. You've got the authors of Pain and Paul Ellering in the Final Testament. Please do something with it. Please.
It's like you've got all the puzzle pieces together, but you just you've got all the Lego pieces together, but you just don't have the instructions on how to put it together.
Like the rest of WWE's factions are so tied up in other things. Like we've got the break of the Judgment Day, so Judgment Day are facing off with the Judgment Day, and then the Bloodline and the break of the Bloodline. The Bloodline are facing off against the other Bloodline. So there isn't really any faction other than the Wyatt Six, which are just as good. Like in retrospective, they're very similar factions in the creepy, weird, kind of way.
Yeah, I get what you're trying
to
say.
It would be good to see them face off, but obviously the Wyatt Six are doing their thing with their debut and that at the moment. So with the Final Testament, it's a bit awkward for them because there's no real
drop them into
it's like what we were saying about Rhea last year. It's like right place, wrong time.
Yeah.
It is right place, wrong time, because I would have loved to have seen a peak Judgment Day versus Final Testament. I think that would have been great.
Now we've
you could still get that. You could still get the Finn Balor and the Liv Morgan up against Karrion and Scarlett.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
I think for me as well, the Final Testament versus peak Final Testament versus Bloodline would have been another one, because obviously we saw Karrion be like, I waited with the hourglass against Roman, and I know that's not going to happen. Obviously, this new Bloodline, all of this stuff, that needs to be fixed first. But that would have been such an interesting storyline to go into, and would have really shaped Final Testament to go against such big names. They would have really helped them, especially Authors of Pain are a huge tag team. Like, everyone was so happy to see them back. Why were they not in the tag team gauntlet? Like, just
they should have been.
They should have been.
But
should have been.
Let's talk about Bayley and Nia, though.
I digress. Yeah, sorry. I kind of totally took that off topic.
You were going with the wandering eye thing, and
I totally took
to have.
So I'll take it back. I'll take it all the way back. We're going BBL back, right? All the way back to Bayley versus Nia, right? For me, and this is no fault of Nia and Bayley. And this doesn't even mean it was bad, but for me, this was by far the weakest match on the card. Not just because obviously Bayley lost. I mean, I'm fine with Bayley losing. Nia Jax more than deserves it, in my opinion. Like I say, I've been on the Nia train for a long time now, but I was on it since November, so I'm fine with the losing. Winning. Like Court said, at the expense of Bayley, not my ideal situation, but I'm happy that she's champion. She 100% deserves it with the effort that she's put in. Don't really know where Bayley goes from here, to be honest. I wouldn't even suggest that she goes over to Raw. I would keep her on SmackDown, but I think that's what the case is. Maybe it's a case of absence makes the heart grow fonder, so maybe give Bayley a couple months off or something, because right now, I think that women's division is very crowded, and there's just no space for a Bayley at the moment, and that sounds horrible, but I just don't think there's space for her at the minute.
Yeah,
it's hard because to be honest, I feel like Bayley has probably been the one horsewoman out of all of them, and this is just my opinion. I don't know if you guys all agree. I think she's the one that she is considered too dependable. You know, she'll always do this. She'll always do that. She's overrated. She's actually incredibly underrated, first and foremost. But secondly, she has had that stigma of people depend on her too much, and people know she's reliable and that she works well. I think people actually do forget how great she can be. And I think that's what's happened here. I genuinely think WWE has just forgotten how great Bayley can be if she is booked right.
I can't believe the fact that she won the Royal Rumble and then
You set it up so well at the beginning of the year, and then only fuck it up 8 months in.
And then you don't put her on any posters. I don't get that.
The thing that annoyed
I don't want
me-
to talk about it.
The thing that annoyed me, we'll transition over in a minute, but the thing that annoyed me is she had a perfect stellar championship run when it was the COVID period.
Yeah.
Booked her right, had a really great feud, had her with had a double champion, had her with Mercedes Moné, had that whole Mercedes Moné turned on her. You had every way of you could do that. I don't understand how you drafted Damage Control completely away from Bayley and didn't have, when Bayley was the champion, had Dakota Kai go against her, had Kairi Sane go against her, Asuka go against her. You had every other member of Damage Control could have also gone for an opportunity to go back at that champion and be like, yes, Io, you were our leader. Yes, you lost. But how
we're
about
going to bring it home for the faction.
Yeah. How about we bring it home for the faction? We fight Bayley. You had at least 5 pay-per-views of defenses planned out. Don't get me wrong. Nia winning, I understand it. I understand the agenda. Nia is a lot better now. A lot of people like Nia. It's a good opportunity for Nia. But you had a perfect storyline with Bayley, with her leaving Damage Control, and you didn't book it the way I expected, and you gave us this instead. And don't get me wrong, I love seeing Bayley be like, look, I'm going to look after my girls in the locker room. I'm going to reprove myself. I know I haven't got the best of friends because what I did when I was in Damage Control, I'm going to mend that. And I liked the whole Naomi looking after her, Michin getting looked after. Loved that. But that is that storyline stuff that could have still worked with Damage Control fighting, because then that's other people backing Bayley and other people fighting against Damage Control, because theoretically it was actually Damage Control that did it. Bayley just ordered them to do it. That's how you could have done it. But I digress. That's how I think better.
I think definitely, like, we can have an opportunity in the future to make a podcast on like things that we think that have been fumbled within WWE.
We definitely
that's definitely something we can talk
times
about.
that WWE fumbled the bag. I can see.
Top 10 times they fumbled the bag. Number 10.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. Funny.
Stay tuned.
Join us.
It will shock you.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Catch people just watching it at 2 a.m.
For God's sake.
Love it.
But moving on, people fumbling the bag. Let's talk about Mr. Pepsi Phillip fumbling the
I
bag.
haven't got Pepsi today. I had a cup of tea.
No fucking wonder he lost, because you drank the one that you were supposed to say for the podcast on the bloody stream, and now he's not here.
I have got some. It's just I had a cup of tea instead.
No, okay.
But
Well, he's not called TM Punk, is he?
Yeah.
That one was trademarked when CM Punk was trying to look for a name. That's why he's not called TM Punk. He is CM Punk.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I don't make the rules.
Fumbling the bag in the situation and letting your emotions get the better of you. My personal opinion on this, Punk had every chance he could have won, but they played into the storyline of it happening, Seth getting G2S, and then Drew doing what Drew does best, stealing an opportunity, hitting the 1, 2, 3. I like this.
Oh, he's got my bracelet on. Shut up, Punk, you nerd.
Did you? Like,
I want that bracelet. The fuck?
Me too.
Yeah,
you know WWE sell those bracelets, right?
Oh, do they?
Not those same ones, but they sell like that kind of style bracelet. I'm pretty sure they did a couple months ago.
But like,
I was gonna get a Seth Rollins one.
I understand the message behind it. Obviously, it's having your wife and your dog on your wrist. You keep them with you. I get it. I understand. But in that moment, when you want to beat the living crap out of the guy who has treated you like hell, why are you going to go, let me stop you for a minute while your body is knocked out? Instead of me doing a pin and winning the match, I'm going to slowly take the bracelet off. Put the bracelet on me. Make sure I look at a camera angle. Give it a kiss. And then, oh no, I've got hit again. Like,
And then Seth has got it on. I'm like, where's Seth wearing it?
Oh my gosh.
It's when CM Punk kicked off at Seth for having it on, and he's like, I just picked it up. I was
He's like, bro, I picked it up so no one broke it. Yeah,
but that's the thing. That's the thing is this feud for these two is no longer just about titles and all of this bullshit about locker room drama. This is literally personal. And the reason why that bracelet is so significant is because it signifies everything that is so incredibly important to CM Punk. And Drew McIntyre knows that. And Drew McIntyre plays into that bracelet because he knows it's CM Punk's biggest weakness. That's the reason why.
He took it back.
Exactly, and he took it
The
back.
fact he took it back was more funny to me.
I love it so much.
For me, the MVP was Seth Rollins. I'm sorry, coming out with the Shawn Michaels inspired gear with the Sabu looking pants. Hearing Punk go, I don't give a damn about your freaking ref shirt. I don't give a damn.
He takes CM Punk's hoodie and wipes his ass with it.
Yeah.
The way he sits up in the ring ropes, very CM Punk style, just like waiting back.
Yeah.
Honestly, we've mentioned it earlier in the podcast, but those video clips where you can hear Seth's audio during him being fucking, oh my god,
it was fab.
So good. That's my favorite animal. My favorite animal is CM Punk. Oh, no, CM Punk. Seth Rollins as special guest referee. That's my favorite.
I will give this to Punk.
So funny.
He looked very good in the ring, especially coming off quite a bad injury. So
he did. Yeah,
he looked great.
He did.
He ain't skipped
better than his Royal Rumble performance. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
And I like they played into he still hit a G2S. Yes, wasn't on the right person, but he still hit the G2S. It was good, cool to see. I definitely could see the feud leaning towards a triple threat match.
I think it's going to be a triple threat, eventually ending with Punk and Seth.
Pump the brakes for a second, though. It will be a triple threat at some point in time, but with Seth Rollins being written off TV from the attack from Bronson Reed, that stretches out that triple threat for a little bit longer.
Yeah, so I feel like it's going to be
right away. You don't want to do it right away.
It's going to be Punk versus Drew at Bash at Berlin. You're going to get a triple threat at Bad Blood. No. I think Punk versus Drew, Bash at Berlin, triple threat at Bad Blood, Hell in a Cell. I think.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Yeah.
Like I did, and then that's when you can branch off and have that CM Punk Seth Rollins match we were supposed to have at Mania this year. We've been told by everybody we were supposed to have it, and I feel so incredibly robbed of that. I'm still pissed off 4 months later.
Yeah, I feel like we were robbed of that.
I feel like that's why they keep hinting at Seth and Punk having a few bits and bobs causing the problems. Like
that's going to be a WrestleMania 41 match, I think.
Well, they keep mentioning it. They keep them both in the same orbit, and that's because the fans know that Seth Rollins can get injured for a couple of months being written off TV, but he can still come back, and we know that those seeds have been planted for him and CM Punk because the hate that. Sorry, microphone. The hate is still there, regardless of how long it's going to be. We know that there is a well-documented history between the two of them.
Who wins that match, though, for you guys? Who wins that?
Seth.
Right.
Triple H's lazy disqualification booking. I can't. Don't ask me.
WrestleMania.
Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I can't decide between the two of them.
Oh, come on. You got to put your mark on it. Who wins it, Cole? Come on.
What happens if the match happens and then you've got to pick someone?
Well, if it happens at WrestleMania 41, I will be a different person then. I'll be able to tell you right there and then. But I can't do it now. I can't do it now. Don't. I can't do it now.
Oh my god.
It's too much for my little heart to take.
Look in my eyes and tell me. CM Punk or Seth Rollins.
That was it was incredibly pushy. Don't try and put your opinions on me.
No, you could do what you want. Right.
I know I can.
No. Well, so I loved Bronson Reed becoming unhinged. Fucking love that. Buck that to the moon now, especially taking out someone like Seth. That's huge. I hope
what the fuck did he do? I was like, why?
Here's something as well. I mean, I don't know if this is like a hot take or anything, right? With this new attitude of Bronson Reed, and Triple H is a little bit more open to it, I feel, in my opinion. I think Bronson Reed should come out and change his name to Jonah.
Yes, I want that. Give me Oh, please.
Like next week on Raw, it should be like, my name is Jonah. Like, I really think you should do that. I think it'd be great.
He just says my name is Joe.
Because Bronson Reed, I'm a badass and my name is Bronson Reed. Come on, no. Jonah.
Jonah just goes hard.
Just one word, Jonah. It sounds cool.
His New Japan run was him just called Jonah, and it was like arguably the best booking.
This is what I'm saying, dude. Like, Triple H is a Japanese mark, so like, please just let him change it to Jonah.
Yeah, just let him have.
It's a Japanese mark.
I mean,
Triple H, are you a Japanese mark? Noah.
Noah.
So I had to get that joking.
You know, funny.
Fucking hires Gorillas of Destiny, lets AJ Styles fly to freaking Japan and wrestle at Noah,
Let's Shinsuke Nakamura do the same thing too.
Shinsuke did it. Marufuji came to SummerSlam and was special guest.
We've got Julia coming in from Marigold.
Julia, come on, he likes Japan.
He studied Japanese in high school. He gets it.
Yeah,
he gets it.
He understands.
Also, I just want to say one thing really quickly before we jump into the next match. You know how we were just talking about Dakota Kai, and you know how I always come to the table when there's news that's been dropped. Apparently, according to Dave Meltzer, she's injured.
Oh.
How?
Don't know.
Oh, is that why she got pulled from the match on Raw?
Yep.
Okay.
I just thought that was flight issues.
Nah, so apparently she hasn't. She was there, but she got injured backstage, hence why Io Sky came in instead. But
right.
I don't know. Dave Meltzer likes to throw these things out there and be like, "Oh, I don't actually know the ins and outs of the injury. I just know she's injured." Like it's just.
Hey, I tell you what. Then I'll tell you what. For a throwaway, for a quick put together match, that match between Io and Sonya was good, man.
Yeah, that match
was great.
They're really good. If that was just thrown together because of Dakota's injury, then fair play.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
So
next match?
We only have two matches left to talk about.
Hell yeah, let's go!
Oh.
For me, the most controversial, gut-wrenching, heartbreaking match of the whole card.
You betrayed
Cody versus Solo.
I know that you'll never be sorry.
That's the song that's playing in my head when Damien got betrayed by Finn Balor.
Yeah.
You didn't cheat, but you're still a traitor, motherfucking Finn Balor.
I'm a Finn guy, and now
so am I, and so am I.
Oh.
But I'm
You're
like
nothing but street trash, Damien.
Right. So I saw someone do a really good viewpoint. If I can find their TikTok name later down the line, I'll put it in the comment section of this live stream when it comes.
Damien, you're nothing but street trash.
But I saw a very good analytical breakdown where this basically turned around and said how Triple H wanted his own variation of a Bullet Club. He wanted a Bullet Club in WWE for a while because it's a very good booking. It's wrote very well. Undisputed Era were meant to originally be those guys. Obviously, Undisputed left and went to AEW and everywhere else. But with the Judgment Day, it's been very much booked like that. You've got your original guys, and now you've got the Splinter Group, which Bullet Club does. It throws out members and it adds new ones. They were tired of Damien's actions and Rhea's actions trying to say how we were never going to be leaders, yet Rhea and Damien very much acted that way as leaders. Now Finn's taking the charge as kind of now the leader. Which makes sense to me though, because Finn knows how to control a group, especially if they're going Bullet Club era-esque, how to do things. Finn was the revolutionizer of Bullet Club. He was the OG leader of the whole
Prince Devitt, baby. Yeah.
Prince Devitt. If they're going to book this the right way and how I want them to do of the OG Judgment Day versus this new Judgment Day, I hope they call it a new name. Personally, I'd like to have
the Budget Day.
No,
the Judgment Night.
The Judgment Weekend.
You know what I mean? Bullet Club had Bullet Club, then it had Bullet Club Elite, then it had Bullet Club Gold. We've also had Bullet Club,
they could call it Judgment Night.
War Dogs.
Yeah. Or judgment mid-afternoon. Sorry, it's just so easy to get on your nerves, mate. I'm sorry, you make it so easy.
Judgment Dusk.
The Judgment Dawn. Yeah, the Judgment Dawn was good.
All right, let's stop pissing around, guys.
But
Sorry.
anyway, I think
Midnight Judgment.
Shut the fuck up, please.
Hey, no swearing unless I do it.
You can't say that. You swore.
I just said unless it's from me.
Oh, okay.
I was only joking.
Right. No, I know. Let's keep it moving. We're doing really good for time, guys.
We're doing great for time.
I was gonna say, I think Damien was like an actual, genuine good champion. I wish that his defenses were a little bit longer, but I think every defense he had was really creditable and made him stand out as a champion, not some fucking paper holder champion that people like to say.
Yep.
And just the man's work ethic is incredible. The fact he nearly busted his ankle extremely bad at the last pay-per-view he was in before this one, and he just came, showed up, showed out. Put Gunther to work, by the way. Sorry, I've never seen someone split Gunther open from chops.
I know, fair play.
It's always Gunther. Yeah, it's always Gunther split someone open from chops. So I give Damien the full praise on everything they did there. That was fantastic. I can't wait to see this feud of where Damien and Finn go, Damien versus Dom, all of this scenario. Maybe Damien and Rhea look at getting some people to help reinforce them. It'll be interesting to see who they can get alongside them to fight. So, who knows? They could be the War Games.
I wouldn't mind seeing the War Games between Judgment Day as well, yeah.
I don't think it needs to be like a War Games scenario as in like 5v5. I literally would just like to just see a grudge match between them. I don't think, to be honest, if I'm being for real, I don't feel like Damien and Rhea need any people added to their group. I literally
you got the Terror Twins.
They literally, Pat called them the Terror Twins on on Raw this week. So,
I mean,
that's what they call themselves. They've been calling themselves that for a couple of
Can you imagine how amazing their ring gear is going to be, considering that they both get their stuff from Saints of the Undead?
Yeah,
that'd be dope. I'll tell you this as well. Like, there's nothing. I mean, I love the match. I thought it was great. Like, Gunther always brings it. Damien, like, you know what? If you told me he was going to get another title match in the future, I wouldn't hate it. I want to see him back at the top. I think he did a great job. What I will say is, there is nothing better than a justified heel who turns heel for the right reasons. And just to build on what Ross was saying, Finn is right. I mean, I love Damien and everything. But ever since Rhea got injured, Damien's been an arsehole to the rest of the Judgment Day. He's been a dick. So, like, yeah, they
choked out Finn and blamed Finn. Was like, "Did you know about this for the Don situation?" I'm like, "Oh, you want to be that type?"
It's like, he probably did know that. He probably did know that, but he didn't know that. That's how he reacted. But even before then, he was telling him to man up and handle it themselves, and I'm the leader, and this, that. You got to follow my example. It's like, Damien, you were the dick. They're correct. Like, you were acting like an arsehole. Before that, Rhea Ripley, the leader, acts like an arsehole, even to Damien. Like, she was a bit of a bitch to him. Like, so Finn
being the way that he was, you screwed me out of two very important matches.
Well, no, but the thing that really made sense is, like, we as fans, if you've been watching this storyline with the Judgment Day for a very long time, we knew what happened at last year's SummerSlam. We knew that Damien's passion ruined that moment for Finn Balor. We knew that. We didn't need it to be explained further, but it got explained further in terms of why Finn did what he did at the time that he did, when he showed the picture in the vignette on Raw this week, and he said, it was exactly a year ago that you screwed me out of my moment, so it only felt right for me to do the same to you.
And it's true. Like I say, bad guys, like, don't have to not make sense. Bad guys can talk sense. Bad guys can come up with decent reasons why they are being an arsehole. Like, Finn, in my mind, is kind of in the right here. He was kind of put as, like, third place in the Judgment Day. And that's Finn Balor. Finn Balor, the first ever Universal Champion.
It's always better for me as a wrestling fan when something gets explained, it makes logical sense, and you can pin all the dots together to make it make sense. If you throw something at me and I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? and it doesn't make sense in the story, then that's when I'm going to raise questions. But as soon as I had remembered when we were watching SummerSlam, I was like, oh my God, a year ago. And then when Finn explained it, I was like, this is how you get people who haven't been keeping up with the Judgment Day storyline, or they haven't been necessarily interested in it, who watched SummerSlam last year, who remembered that Damian Priest screwed Finn Balor. They'll go, oh my God, it all makes sense now. You know what I mean? Like these kind of story beats that we need to keep having in storylines for them to make sense. They just need a really good timeline rather than completely trying to skew things everywhere else.
I agree, totally.
To add to what you were saying there, even if like SummerSlam was your first ever pay-per-view, that as well, Finn the next night on Raw explaining, look, a year ago, this is what you did. This is why it makes sense. It added so much of that necessary background storytelling some people might not pick up. Like, as you said, if you're a long 10-year fan, you're going to just know where that angle was going anyway and why Finn was doing it.
And then as well, too, with that being said, is when we saw it ourselves on SummerSlam, right? And then he said it on Raw, your mind instantly goes, oh my God. And you start thinking back to all the times between last year's SummerSlam and this year's SummerSlam where Finn's behavior has been off with Damian, but he's still kind of held it together and he's waited for that perfect moment as a Randy Orton would to strike first. He's waiting for that moment where he's vulnerable and he's in a position where he can't control what's happening, i.e. Damian, and just takes that opportunity. And we're also forgetting to mention, and we'd spoken about this as well too, is during that second interaction between the two of them in the clubhouse, the demon was very much present in the background. Did you see that, Rex?
Yeah, I saw that. 100%. I definitely saw that. And to build what you were saying as well, he said he's been planning it for a year, but maybe the reason why he has been planning it for years is because he's been second guessing himself. I mean, he was quite loyal to Damian Priest all the way through. When Damian Priest was like, his main goal was the tag team championships. He helped him win back the tag team championships. He was there for Damian when he was down. He was celebrating him when he won the world title. And then when Rhea got injured, and then when Damian started to be a dick to him, it was kind of like, where does this come from? I've been like your brother, like all the way from, and now you'll think you're better than me just because you have a championship. Like, you forgot about the dark days of when you weren't there for me when I tried to go after the world title, when we was going through the dark days of trying to get the tag team championship back, when I wanted to bring my friend in to back us up, and you didn't support me. You didn't trust me. He was my best friend. You wasn't on my side. I remember all that. And that's what makes a great heel, when it makes sense. That's the best heel.
And the best thing for me when I was watching Raw this week was JD saying that the only person in the Judgment Day that will listen to me is Finn, because he trusts me more than he trusts you.
Yeah. Yes.
And didn't we say when JD was starting to get introduced to the faction, this is going to end up with him and Finn having some form of alliance over everybody else?
Definitely.
Like, I can say that all four of us actively love the Judgment Day, and if I'm wrong on that, then like you can absolutely but we've been talking about Judgment Day theories for a long time.
I was going to say,
we've been seeing this. I literally have my Judgment Day poster up there of them celebrating the win at the tag titles at Backlash. I looked at that picture after the fucking stream before I filmed my Judgment Day video, and I thought to myself, what am I going to do? So then I went and got my 4 pictures of my Judgment Day guys on my shirt, and it just so happened that Finn and Damien were right at the top. So that's why I was like, what do you want to talk about? Because they were right there ready to go. It just hurts. I don't know. He
rejoins. But no, I'm very much the same. G, you've been quite quiet on this. How did you feel about the betrayal? Are you team Finn or are you team Damien on this now of the Judgment Days?
I'm not entirely bothered. I'm just really happy Gunther's world champion.
You know what? Fair enough. Yeah, we very much heavily spoke Judgment Day, but I think that was kind of the point. SummerSlam aimed at that. I don't want to undersell Gunther's moment. I feel like that kind of happened, but Gunther
all we've been asking for months is Gunther to be in the world title scene.
Yeah, you got it now. I was going to say, you were a heavy advocate for it. You said
we've all been heavy advocates for it.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like G was very adamant. Like, I'm fine now. Now he's beat the streak of how long the Intercontinental is. She was quite fine with him losing to then get the world title. And like, you were even one of the people that said, "Well, if Cody can't do it, I'd love to see Gunther go and beat Roman, and I backed you on that. So it's nice to see him in that world heavyweight division, in that big main event. And now I think a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, he's just going to be a transitional champion." I really don't think he will.
And
obviously,
there's no way.
It's because of his first challenger. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, because of who."
But there's a story behind it.
No, I know that. I know
There's
that.
a reason why.
But a lot of the IWC are also now just being like, "Oh, I could see Randy winning. It's easy for Randy to win this situation."
But why? Can I ask a question really quickly? Why would you have somebody the likes of Gunther, who has 2 distinguished historical reigns within the... I just realized I'm doing the CM Punk FU, so sorry. The 2 distinguishable historical reigns, that being the NXT UK title and the Intercontinental Championship. Why would you put a title on this person for them to just lose it in their first defense? Do we not know how great the ring general is? Do we not know
the only reason Randy
the aura he brings?
Yeah.
There's 2 reasons why Randy is there for Bash and Berlin. Number 1 is because it's a big match. In fact, no, there's 3 reasons. Number 1 is because it's a big match. Number 2 is because it's a threat towards Gunther's first challenge. It makes him look good if he beats him. And thirdly, it just corrects a wrong for what happened at King of the Ring. They're doing it to correct it. That's what they're doing it for.
And that's the thing as well, is people want to go ahead and say, like, obviously when a Gunther-Randy Orton match gets announced, they're going to be like, haha, he's going to drop the title straight away. But at the same time, these are the same people that would also complain if he got put up with the likes of, like, a Xavier Woods. They'd be like, well, why are you putting Xavier Woods and Kofi and Gunther together for a match?
Yeah.
These people, it can never be enough. And it's just like... And these are also the same people that go ahead and say, oh, we want to see new champions hold the title belts. But then they complain the second it happens. And then they want a legend who's held the title 14 times prior to beat them. How do you make, and we've been saying this since we started the podcast, how do you make new stars if the second that they get the title, you just want somebody else who's had the title before to beat them? People were saying that with Damian Priest too. People were like, oh, we want Damian to win. We want Damian to win. And then the second Damian did, they were like, oh, we want Seth Rollins to beat him. Like,
I honestly would
keep recycling the same wrestlers if we're trying to make new stars. That's why we're all so happy for the LA Knights and the Braun Breakers of the world, because they haven't had that opportunity yet. But it's only a matter of time, in my eyes, before somebody goes ahead and says, oh, I can't wait for a Gunther to beat them, or a Sami Zayn to beat them, or a Kevin Owens to beat them. Like, just let them have their moment. This is how we have to make new stars.
Exactly. You need to build the next generation, and that's how Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were the next generation. Like they had to beat someone as well. But what I will say is about Gunther, me personally, I think he needs to hold it at least a year. I mean, in an ideal world, I would quite like him to hold it to like WrestleMania 42. To be honest, like I want a really long reign from Gunther, like, because there's a load of people, heel and face, who he could face on Raw and SmackDown if he's ever traded with the belt. I love Gunther. I love how dominant he is in the ring, but he always like gives away, like gives the vibe that like he is beatable. That's what I love about Gunther.
I'm happy for Gunther. I don't care what anybody says. I'm happy for Gunther. I prayed for this. I wished for this, and we got it.
Yeah.
So,
fuck anyone who's not happy for Gunther, dude. Like honestly.
Just
have you been watching wrestling for the past 2 years? How can you not be happy with Gunther?
I've seen some really wild hot takes, and the block button has been coming into play a lot more, and the unfollow button has been coming into play a lot more. And it's nothing personal. It's just stop spouting shit on the internet because you're just trying to make something stick against the wall.
Yeah.
I completely unfollowed the podcast because their opening statement was, "Does anyone care that Gunther won?" I'm like, that's just wild. That shows that. I honestly, it's taking every single fucking ounce of my being to not name and shame these people right now, and I'm not going to because I'm not messy like that. And the microphone has come close to me because it means that I mean business. Just because you have a Twitter that has 20-something followers or whatever it is, I don't care because I don't look at your numbers and your analytics. Just because you have a Twitter, it doesn't mean that you should be typing this kind of shit on the internet. You know why? Because your opinion doesn't fucking matter.
I don't like the fact that
I don't care. Like, it just actually pisses me off. It really pisses me off. You guys, that podcast, and I don't care if I get into an issue with them on the internet. They're not my friends anyway. But this podcast in particular, go ahead and spout out random shit on the internet that they think people care about, and we automatically know who's behind those tweets. We're not stupid. If you want to go ahead and tweet that from your own personal account. Don't hide behind a podcast to try and hide your true feelings. Like,
what I guess I'm nervous about this kind of shit though is, I don't mind people having opinions. Don't get me wrong. Like, even if it's a bad opinion, but like when it's based on nothing, like absolutely nothing. It's like when someone just like, because they're mad because their person didn't win. It's like when someone turns around and says, "Is anyone really bothered that Gunther won the world title?" I'm like, yes, funnily enough, that's why they kept the Intercontinental title on him for 2 years. That's why they kept the UK title on him for nearly 2 years. That's why he won King of the Ring. Yes, people are asked that he's won the world title. What are you talking about?
Like, come on.
To confirm all of this, because obviously I brought that topic on of like I unfollowed someone because of that opinion. For me, you can have an opinion, you can have a wrong opinion, you can have a right opinion, you can have. It's the whole reason we have our podcast is because we talk our viewpoints on it. I don't like baseless comments like that. Does anyone care? Someone had to care. The writing team had to care. The booking team had to care to decide to put him as a champion. You can say you're not interested in the run going forward. Like G openly said a moment ago, I don't really care where the Judgment Day angle goes. I'm just happy Gunther's champion. G still got what she wanted out of that situation because the champion landed who she wanted. Yes, she isn't invested in the Judgment Day.
Just to jump on what you're saying there, dude, can I just say, like, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, the writing staff cared and all that sort of stuff. The fans cared. Did you hear the reaction when he won?
I'm just on the account really quickly, just reading some of the shit that was spouted during SummerSlam. Talking about signs, talking about referee cams. Why are there sponsors on the mat now? It looks ugly.
Why are you so bothered? Who cares?
Owned by the UFC's same company as well. If they want to go ahead and brand it like the UFC, who gives a fuck? It's just clearly not for you.
There's a giant Monster Energy can in the middle of the octagon every single UFC. Who gives a shit?
Asked about Braun Breaker as well. Does anyone really care? Like, and asks about.
Wait.
Did you not see that one?
Did they really?
Does anyone actually care that Braun is now the IC champ?
Oh yeah, who cares about Braun Breaker? In every single arena, you've got 20,000 people going, ooh. Yeah, no one cares. Yeah. What?
Right. I'm going to clear this we are not bashing other podcasts. We are not attacking other people. We are just stating
Don't speak for me. Don't speak for me, Ross.
Yeah, I am. But
I'm not getting involved.
I'm trying to keep the peace, guys. I
don't give a fuck, dude. No, honestly, right? I don't even mind a bad opinion. No, listen, I don't mind a bad opinion, okay? Right? But tell me why. Like, you know when someone says, "Oh, I don't know, let's just throw an opinion. I don't like Roman Reigns." Why? Why don't you like Roman Reigns? And if you tell me why you don't like Roman Reigns, cool, well done, right, amazing. But if you turn around and just go, I don't know, I just think he's shit. Oh, that is such an annoying answer. That is such an annoying answer. It's like, oh, why don't you like Roman? Oh, he's just crap, isn't he? No, yeah, because he's just crap. Yeah, he's crap. Yeah, all right. Oh, yeah, fair enough. You win. I agree with you then. Shut the front door, bro. Like, I hate it when people try and be controversial, but then when they're confronted about an actual reason why they don't like something, it's just like, because they're rubbish.
It's because they back up against the wall. They're ready to make this argument, and then when you actually challenge them on something and try and get their intellect,
tell me why. Let's have a conversation. Like, if you don't like Gunther,
I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh, just because he's shit. Well,
yeah. If you don't like Gunther as a champion. If you don't like Gunther as a champion, tell me why. Like, let's have a conversation. Let's have a debate why you don't like him. Like, bring some points to the table and tell me why you don't like Gunther as a champion. Don't just go, nobody cares. It's like, all right, okay, yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, G,
do you want to go?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, G, go on.
The best part about it is when you do challenge them and you give them your response, and then they're like, okay, delete.
What?
Yeah.
The funniest ones that I've received is I've challenged people on it, and they go, "Oh, I just said that because I didn't think you were going to respond."
Yeah, I had that situation this morning where I posted that blind reacting video, and I put Ronda Rousey's theme at 2, and people in the comments were like, Ronda at 2 is wild, but it's not about her, it's about her theme, and her theme is fantastic. And they were deleting their comments because I was saying that her theme was good.
Yeah, we're talking specifically about the song. We're not talking about the person. The song.
Listen, this is about to be a perfect transition, right? And because it transitions into the next match. Okay.
Let's transition into the next match as well.
I am a massive Roman Reigns fan, right? I tell you why I'm a Bloodline fan. I tell you why I love the Bloodline. But on the other hand, I don't like Cody Rhodes. But I don't think he's crap. I don't just go, oh, because he's shit. I tell you why I don't like Cody Rhodes. If you want to tell me why you do like him, fine, that's cool. Good for you. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm happy for you. If you like him, great. You chant him. You sing his song. That's fine. It's just not for me. But I will tell you why I don't like him. I don't just go, oh, it's rubbish.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is that's the difference between you and a lot of people. Is you are happy to come forward with your opinions, and you're happy to explain why. And that's the thing. Is like if you say to me, this is why I don't like Cody Rhodes. You know what? It doesn't change anything about our friendship, Rick, because there's still mutual respect there, and you're not directly hating on a person's favorite wrestler just because you don't like them. You're able to say, I don't really like the booking. I don't like what they're doing with this. I don't like what they're doing with that. It doesn't mean that you don't like the person Cody Rhodes. It's just you don't like how they're presented on TV. And there's nothing wrong with that. As adults, you should be able to have these kind of conversations and not take it so much so to the point where it's so personal that it affects your friendship with that person. Like we all have in this group of 4, we more than likely all have wrestlers that we all like, or that some of us don't like certain wrestlers. And you know what? That's absolutely fine. It doesn't mean that we're not friends outside of this. It doesn't mean that we can't talk to each other about wrestling. Different opinions within wrestling are necessary. Because if we all liked the same person, wrestling would be boring.
Yeah. Be vanilla. Be boring.
If you don't like CM Punk, you can just out the door right now.
I'm kind of taking away from the importance and the intensity
of sorry.
It's fine. It's all good. But it's like
I'm going out the door.
For me, it's literally the fact that everybody has different wrestlers that they like.
Of course.
Guess what? That's absolutely fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There'll be some people that rock with Jey Uso and some people that don't. And that's fine. Yeah. Jey Uso's still getting a fat paycheck at the end of the day. He doesn't give a shit if you like him or not.
Exactly.
So I think the major thing to take away from this is like opinions can be allowed and stuff like that, but have the actual conversation about it and don't just like speak for the majority of people because then
you like who you like. You like who you like.
Yeah.
Don't.
Well, I was talking to my friend yesterday, right? And actually on Sunday, sorry, and we was talking about like SummerSlam. And he really wanted Logan Paul to win.
Yep.
And it wasn't because he thought LA Knight was crap. I asked him why. And he was like, well, for me, it like Logan Paul holding the US title, yeah, I know he's not defended it loads, but it brings a loads of eyes to the product when he's holding a title. And we always get great matches when. And I was like, fair enough. I don't agree, but fair enough. Like that's a great conversation to have. Not just because LA Knight's crap. Like it's a healthy conversation to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this was a lot of the things we were saying, and I brought this up about like the Bloodline Rules match, like segment.
Well, let's talk into it. Let's get into that one then.
I felt the Bloodline Rules being added in a last-minute thing was kind of unnecessary. I understood where the story was going for it because obviously it gives the opportunity for everyone to get involved, stuff like that, fight unbreaking. But I just thought. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to come across like an arsehole, but I thought it was stupid as hell that you have Arn Anderson speak to Cody Rhodes, which is a huge deal, by the way, that he's now out of AEW. Now they're with him. Be like, you've got friends on the way you don't know about, but they'll come help you when you least expect it. That's me like, right, there is an interesting potential of debuts. There could be some of the guys from NXT come up and help him just quickly, even though they still got NXT stuff. They've got potentially new signees because Motor City Machine Guns were constantly being talked about as potentially being signed to WWE. That could have came and helped Cody. And then just to have Kevin Owens and Randy come back out. I love Kevin Owens. I love Randy. I love that they're helping him out. but I'm getting quite tired of the same booking situation.
Like a rinse and repeat cycle.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. Like friends that you don't expect, and it's like, yeah, I get the other one. Obviously, he doesn't expect that one, but like, yeah, friends you don't expect. Friends plural. It's like, oh wow, I didn't expect the guys who's been teaming with me for 5 weeks to come out.
If we hadn't seen them over the last 5 weeks, then it would have made more of an impact than it did. But then when Roman came out, that was the friends that you don't expect.
Yeah.
But we almost didn't even need Randy and Kevin Owens to come out because friends is considered plural, but if I'm talking, I'm like, hey, I've got a group of friends, or I've got some friends, I could always just be talking about one person.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not mutually exclusive to a group of people.
And also, I obviously get why Cody won because to keep the belt on him and stuff like that. It made sense to do it that way, but I don't feel the way it finished was the cleanest. It didn't.
It was kind of rushed.
Yeah, it didn't look the greatest to me. For me, Fatu was one of the major takeaways for me. I'm getting quite tired of how they're using Tangaloa. He just feels like the joke of the group now. I understand.
Oh, it's so bad.
Like I said this, and I will stand by what I said. Tangaloa is the JD of the group. Of the early days of the faction, someone needs to be the person to sell, getting beaten the crap out of, being knocked when you're down, and then you'll get your rise. But I'm sorry. I feel like since Tangaloa has been signed, it has been a slap in the face because, hey, we signed your brother. You two are former tag champions, multiple time tag champions. We're going to get this other dude that we've now signed to tag with him, give him the belts, and we're storyline wise, it's because you're going to wear an eye patch for a few weeks.
It's like Roman winning the tag titles with Jay. It's like. And Jimmy just stood there like,
It's giving, I just bought myself a new toy and I want to play with that instead.
And I'm like, I understand if that was the direction you wanted to go. I 100% like, this is what I'm saying. I hate what they're doing with the new bloodline.
Yeah.
And I will go in very much high detail about it. Whereas other people be like, oh, I hate this new bootleg bloodline. Oh, but budget, like, you know, freaking budget day as well, like they're on about. People are just going to be like, oh, I hate this, yet they haven't let it cook. Whereas I'm saying that I hate the direction of the new bloodline because I know my fucking history. I've sat down and watched Guerrillas of Destiny for years.
You've been there for it.
They are my absolute favorite tag team. I have sat down and got to speak to Tama Tonga for a bit. I've had high fives off the whole of Guerrillas of Destiny because I went and watched them at Royal Quest. These guys are incredible wrestlers, and it just sucks that they're not giving the opportunity to Tangaloa to shut people up. Yes, I understand he has botched a couple of times, but he's in a whole new environment. He is very green to WWE's format. Japan, they get away with, you punch a guy, make it look like it hurts. What do you think Tama Tonga works so good? Because Tama Tonga's booking is beat the crap out of people. Book yourself as someone that hits your stiff. Yeah. And it just sucks that they've now had Jacob Fatu, who arguably is my favorite Samoan wrestler, doing incredible stuff, and put him in a tag team. But he's a solo star.
I'm hoping that they do the Freebird rule with the tag titles in the bloodline, in my opinion.
That's what I want, because I want Jacob Fatu to go for the mid card. Solo, obviously, go for the main title.
And then they're all dripped in gold.
Yeah.
Can I just
with the gold?
Can I just say, because I feel like he's been a real unsung, because obviously, of course, I'm going to say good stuff about him, but I'm being serious. I feel like he's been a really unsung hero in this story. I think Solo deserves a massive shout out.
Huge.
He has absolutely done his job to a T. People are turning around and like going, yeah, I know, but like, and it's how do I say it? People are saying, oh, he's crap. He doesn't suit this role. He's not the real tribal chief. I can't wait for Roman to come back. And it's like, that's
your statements are quite literally what we want to happen. Like you saying that you don't like something. Okay, cool. Well, what's your theory going to be when it does happen? And you're like, oh my god, I love this. Like
Solo has fell into the role of someone who is trying to like perform a coup, like to grab power while Roman isn't there. Like he's done it perfectly. He is the guy. He is the reason when he gets in the ring and everyone is shouting, "We want Roman" at him. He has done the job that he is supposed to have done. He's done fantastic.
Just to add on to that, he's done the job that most people thought weren't going to be possible. How the hell were they going to book Roman becoming a babyface again? Because obviously he's now lost the title. How do you do that? You put the biggest thing that will upset him. His family has completely turned on him. The person who he said is my next right-hand man has become the right-hand man with all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
The "we want Roman" isn't because Solo's boring. It's because you love Roman as your tribal chief. Now you've got a tribal chief you hate. It's done the job.
He's done a great job. He's done such a good job. And like I'll tell you what, like the way he does his promos, his vignettes, it's been fantastic. It's been so good. He's done great.
Sorry, I'm just replying to my PT. We ain't on for today, so I can stick around and chat.
Hey!
She's on a break at the moment. Shout out to my PT. She's absolutely fucking phenomenal and she deserves a break. So I was just checking in because normally I have a session with her at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'd normally have to be gone by now. But because she's got a week off, I can sit and chat.
Nice.
So we're all good.
Dope.
Sorry to get that off track, but I'm just making
No, it's fine.
As you said though, like, what was the one thing everyone said when Roman was tribal chief? We hate Roman. We can't stand him.
We want him to go. We want him to leave.
You got.
And then he left and come back, and now everyone.
You know, can I just sum up what you've just said in a sentence? You don't realize what you've got until it's gone.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest thing within professional wrestling that really annoys me. Is like I understand the idea of absence makes the heart grow fonder. I completely get it, but it makes me feel like people are so wishy-washy when for months they say, "Oh, we want Roman to go away. We want Roman to leave." I said it as a joke, right? Because I do like Roman Reigns. I just dog on him on the internet because I think it's funny.
You did it to wind me up. Like you did it to wind me up.
Yeah, we did it to wind up.
Just like I do it with Ross, I do it to wind you up, and it clearly does a really good job. But the thing is, I don't like people that are so wishy-washy and they say that they don't want Roman around anymore. And then when Roman's gone, he's gone for one day and they're like, "Oh my God, I miss Roman so much."
Yeah.
I don't mean to keep doing this because I feel like we do this a lot, right? But there is video evidence of exactly this situation of what I said before WrestleMania. I said, everyone is clamoring for Cody to win the title because they're bored of Roman.
Yeah,
but when Cody wins the title, the only thing they'll want back is Roman.
Yeah, no, and you are right. And this
all these Cody fans, dude, that was going, "Oh, Cody, yeah," are the same people who are saying his title reign's mid. He never wins by himself. He like, you know, it's been boring without Roman. Roman needs to come back. We need more bloodline storylines going on. I'm like, I literally said this. I was like, "Yo, you are just wanting change for the sake of change. That's all you are wanting." You know. The finishing the story was mint. It was a great match. It was iconic. It was great. Where do you go from there? Take me on a journey. Where do you go from there? The answer is apparently nowhere because his title run has been mid, in my opinion, and I can say that because I said it was going to fucking be mid before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So as a Cody fan, I don't think it's been mid. I actually have really enjoyed the title defenses he's had. I thought he had a stellar match against AJ Styles because that's a lot of history there of two
stellar matches, my guy.
And they never fought each other before. I also liked having the potential that Jay and Cody could have met each other close down the line with the whole King of the Ring scenario and everything that was going on there. I thought that was really interesting. I also think that him versus Solo, I think they pulled the trigger a bit too early on that. I think they should have let it cook a bit longer. But again, why they did it, I like the bloodline separate to Cody. I don't feel like the bloodline needs Cody now. I've looked at them at two separate angles. I always enjoyed the bloodline story anyway, especially with Jimmy.
I like that they're splitting off now. Yeah, I do like that it's splitting.
Yeah.
I liked Jimmy and Jay mainly in the bloodline. That was my main thing. I liked the Jay not liking Sammy, Jimmy being all right with Sammy, and then the flip of the script.
Because that's in a conflict.
Yeah. And I liked
This
how they
is-
flipped it, whereas Jimmy stayed with Bloodline, Jay left, where it seemed like Jay was so loyal to the Bloodline and Jimmy was could.
I agree with you, by the way, Ross, in terms of with Cody matches being good. I think they have. I think they've been great. What I don't like about what I don't like about Cody is, it's just the same thing every week when he does a promo. Like nothing feels different. It doesn't feel like we're going anywhere. It feels like he's getting floated on a river on the boat of another challenger. He doesn't feel like he's pushing forward. Like he feels like he's being carried by another storyline, and then he floats into another one.
So I agree on that. Because the whole major reason I'm a fan of Cody is his promo work, especially what I've seen outside of WWE, and it does upset me seeing him constantly do the "so what do you want to talk about" promos and the "I am the champion, you can birth me, I shouldn't really do this, the numbers are stacked against me, but go on, I'll accept the challenge."
And with that being said,
ones were good. The solo ones were good. AJ's one felt a bit meh with those promos. If he gets the right opponent,
you won't win every promo every time, though. There's going to be good and there's going to be
bad.
No,
100%. But as a champion, you have to elevate the storyline as why you're the champion, not just the odds are stacked against me because everyone wants to go against me. I'll accept anyone and everyone. I'll be the defending champion. And you can't constantly do the I finished my story, but now I've got to create a new story in every promo you do.
Yeah, you were the guy to beat Roman. Tell me why. Show me why.
Yeah, just say, I've beaten your longest reigning guy. I will be the next longest reigning guy. Yeah. I'm going to offer opportunities to people who I think deserve it. Because Cody was that kind of character that bit and clawed his way to get the opportunity to fight that. I don't see why they have not done a storyline yet of where Cody has sat there and gone, you know what? I see your hard work and your efforts. I'm giving you an opportunity. Because that's, one, is a major babyface mode. And two, it's a whole new different angle to go with of leaning on what his dad was, which was a fighting champion, would always push himself to be the fighting guy for any opportunity.
Can I ask you something in response to your point that you've just made?
Yeah.
Do you think Cody Rhodes issuing an open challenge, like the US Open Challenge title scene, do you think that would be beneficial? Because that would help for people to come forward and be like, look what I've been doing. Do you not think I deserve an opportunity?
So a lot of people are already going to knock me for this, but I'm going to state it anyway. Cody Rhodes had arguably one of the most interesting title runs when he was in AEW, when he had one of his first TNT title runs and he had the Open Challenge, where indie stars, people outside the company, not even AEW names, were able to come in and challenge you. And it gave us Eddie Kingston, it gave us Matt Cardona, it gave us so many opened opportunities and interesting storylines. And I think that's where Cody was at his best, where all the odds were stacked against him. He was giving opportunities to people he didn't even know. And I would love to see something like that happen again, where he does an open challenge. And I would love to see some of the NXT guys take that chance. Do you know how cool it would be to have Cody just do an open challenge and Ethan Page walks out and be like, hi, old friend. How about we go?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. How cool would it be if he did that and Ricky Starks came out?
Exactly. Like,
there we go.
Joe Hendry. Like, come on, man.
Exactly. The potential of that is what would make Cody a lot better in these booking situations. I know Triple H probably has other plans. I'm not going to knock it. I'm going to say let it cook. We'll probably see some really cool thing. But I beg, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, I beg, I do not want another Roman versus Cody repeat at Mania.
Nah, because it's going to become like the Brock and Roman, and how many times did we get there? Like 7 times.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
This is all about family now. It's Solo versus Roman. It's family. Do not get Cody involved.
Do you know what would fix Cody for me? And do you know what? The Open Challenge is a great idea. I'm not even. I think he could very easily build a great story, not even without those open challenges. You know what would fix Cody for me? oh, just give him a bit of an edge. Like, I'm so sick of this white meat. I am happy to be here. Let's kiss all the babies bullshit from Cody Rhodes. It's not interesting. It's not interesting. It's like I show up in a suit and just say the nicest things off the top of my head. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Chip on his shoulder, and like a bit of that kind of.
Yes.
Reese, what I'll do, I'll send you his heel promos that he used to do when he was in the suits, and then you'll be like, "That's
dude, I've seen him. There's no wonder why people are already calling for him to be like a Homelander character, which would be dope. But don't get me wrong. But I fully believe you can have an interesting face, Cody Rhodes, but just give him a bit of an edge. Austin had an edge. Even Cena had a bit of an edge.
Yeah.
Like when she turned into the man, people loved her, but they understood the reason why that she was the way she was.
The thing that annoys me in this situation, look at the talent that is on SmackDown, and look at the opportunity of what would give Cody an edge. You've got half of Bullet Club is now in WWE. Why do you not bring up the Bullet Club history? Why do you not
do Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes?
Exactly. And why do you not like AJ Styles is heel right now with the Good Brothers? I don't get how we don't play into that more of the Good Brothers come out and start looking at Cody being like, oh, I'm getting sick and tired of you, man. You ain't got the edge you used to have. I remember our Japan days. I remember when you would actually used to kick ass.
Yeah, show me the American Nightmare. Show me that side.
I told you the American Nightmare. And can I quickly just say the reason why I'd mentioned Joe Hendry and Cody Rhodes is because I listened to Joe Hendry's Chris Van Vliet interview, and he was very complimentary about Cody Rhodes, talking about how Cody helped get him an Impact contract, how he very much helped him start out. Joe Hendry was a big fan of John Cena growing up, and Cody was like, I'll literally call him right now and you can have a chat with him. Like, it's that kind of thing. But if you just got to think, they just got to think a little bit more, because I don't think the problem for me is the matches that Cody has, because they're not. He's a really great in-ring performer. I think the promo, him pulling a promo was good. I think for me, it's the contents of the promo, not knowing how to push him moving forward, and just not having a strong list of people for him to go up against. Because it is very rinse and repeat with the whole. Honestly, when I watch SmackDown these days, I hate to say it, but I'm like a little bit drained when I watch SmackDown, because it's always, okay, well, how long are we going to have to wait for Randy and Kevin to come out and help him? And it's kind of, I don't like feeling like that about SmackDown that's supposed to be this big show with all these big people on it, like it's very rinse and repeat with that kind of thing. And as you say, Reese, I completely respect and understand your point, and I agree. Like, I think there is a way that you can have a babyface who does have a little bit more intent behind what they do and is a little bit more forceful in what they do. We've seen it in the past. Yeah. And I do think a lot of people's arguments with Cody's promos is they're waiting for him to go on to like a Netflix deal or something where he can say a little bit more harsher things. But you should be able to try and push the envelope where you are now in a way that's not swearing and cursing and calling your mum a hoe, but there should be a way that you should be able to push the envelope with what you can say and show, like, hey, yes, I am your champion. I am a babyface. These are the reasons why I feel the way I feel. But there is a way you can do it without having to wait until you're on a Netflix issue or Netflix.
Well, Damian Priest is a babyface, and he isn't vanilla. So, I mean, you've got direct opposite, right?
He's mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip. I was going to say, a huge one is Swerve. Look at Swerve Strickland, and he's working AEW right now. That guy is meant to be the babyface. Everyone loves Swerve. The whole Who's House chant. Bro literally went out of his way to absolutely decimate half of the people in that Blood and Guts match, and has had that edge. He took the piss out of Bryan Danielson yesterday of just being like, oh, look at you. You just had a match against Jeff Jarrett and you're already gassed out. Your legs are shaking. Like, do stuff like that. Liberties in insulting a person. You can elevate them and insult them. Be like, look.
I think WWE might just be too afraid to do that with Cody because he's the guy.
I know, but you've literally got guys in the company there who, like a babyface doesn't have to be a wet wipe. I don't like how, like, Cody, babyfaces in general, but Cody does it a lot. Like, let's say he's in Milwaukee and he goes, what do you think, Milwaukee? Should we do this? And then he goes, what do you want to talk about? Or when there's a heel talking, you do the classic babyface thing where it goes, Milwaukee, and I think you should shut up. And it's like, oh, oh, shut up yourself and go backstage. Like I hate it so much. There's no edge to baby faces, like in terms of, especially with Cody Rhodes. It's noticeable because he's at the top of the card, but it happens a lot. But it's more noticeable when it's your world champion.
Can I just get back on topic to the match really quickly? And we obviously haven't mentioned how Roman returned. Reese, I want to ask you a really important question. Are you annoyed that they've changed Roman Reigns' theme song? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pissed off about it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm peeved about it. Like,
I don't like it.
this is what I've been saying for months. This is what I've been saying for months. If it's not broken, don't fix it. I know
because that theme song that you had, babyface or heel, that theme song is final boss energy.
I shit on Def Rebel quite a bit, right? But Def Rebel cooked with Roman Reigns' theme. Why ruin it? Why ruin it?
And it's like, oh, let's just add more drums.
G had a point.
She did. Apparently, everybody was saying the theme they used for Roman on Saturday was the non-live version of his WrestleMania theme.
Oh!
Yeah, that doesn't make me like it anymore.
Why? As a wrestling fan, why would I care that that's the specific version of the theme?
Yeah, just give if you're gonna make a return.
People didn't know by the opening chord. They had to look at the Titantron. I didn't even know it was Roman.
Yeah, I just heard.
Did you not just hear me go, oh, head of the table, because that's what I saw before in the theme.
Yeah.
That's exactly what. That's literally how I felt.
We've been saying you need to be able to tell by a person's theme song the second the first chord hits exactly who it is. And Roman is one of your biggest stars in the company. And you literally had a moment with him this weekend where people didn't know it was him until either he started coming out or until head of the table was written up on the Titantron.
That's how you get the huge pops, and that's exactly why. That's exactly what I was doing throughout the whole Rumble this year. And I was like, the music would start, and I'm like, wait, let me look at the screen to find out who it is. Yeah.
So,
but their solution is to go, it's Tiffy time, or like some shit like that at the start, like,
oh hell, the queen.
Or green, like just make a better fucking song. Like, it aggravates me so much. And you guys know how much I dunk on. You know how much I dunk on Roman Reigns, but I do like his theme song. I think it's good. It helps me.
It's final boss material. Like you know,
to lift heavy shit.
But, you know, shit's about to hit the fan when you hear that theme song.
Exactly. So I think to wrap it up, it was really cool to have Roman return, but Def Rebel, please stop messing with themes.
Just take a seat. Take several seats.
Or get really good ones where there's lyrics and actually good singing in it. Not. Just,
I like to sing the themes. I really do.
Don't just give me ones where I'm like, oh, shout the person's name. Don't need it. We don't need it.
No, you don't.
Go back and look at C-Fast and how they did it. I'm sorry. Nothing will ever beat Aleister Black's theme for me. No. I think that is one of the absolute perfect wrestling themes for the character, how it was. Even AEW do it perfect. Like, they actually, if they know they can't make a good song, even though the person they've got with Mark Ruffalo, or I think it's Mark Ruffalo. He does great themes.
I thought it was Jim Johnson still. Is it not?
No, Jim Johnson also helps on it, but they make great themes in AEW as well. Like they genuinely actually sit down, don't need to do ridiculous things. Like look at Keith Lee's one, Adam Cole's one, MJF's one, stuff like that. They mess with it, they have fun, and then this is another thing I kind of argue about. I don't get how with WWE having so much as the budget they do, why do they not just buy licensed music? I don't know. And it works.
We've spoken about this before.
Yeah. I think it was awesome to see Roman return. I think the storyline goes really great there.
That ooh-wah spear.
Also, let me just say really quickly. So that limited edition Roman Reigns title belt that came out, firstly, that was $600. Secondly, they only had 1,316 of them because that's his title length. And they sold out in an hour, and people on eBay were putting them up for double the price, and it's on pre-order.
Yeah,
people like that. I think he sold
this man made like $800,000 upon his return in an hour.
That's insane, though, right? That is like that just shows you how massive of a star Reigns is. Like, who's hitting numbers like that these days?
He's hitting numbers like that, and he hasn't even done anything since he came back.
I know. He literally did 2 moves.
Yeah.
2 moves. Yeah.
And apparently the shoes that he was wearing as well too. Apparently there's like a Nike cross Roman
Yeah,
Reigns
he's
like,
supposed to have
yeah,
the
yeah,
coming out in the
Jordan
future too.
collection, isn't he?
Yeah,
I
it's
want
got,
them.
it's
For all
got
of
the
those
hair
who are
around
out here saying that Roman Reigns doesn't generate any money, just what? Get a
Yeah.
calculator. I know that I
yeah.
dunk on him, but I respect the man. I can respect the grind. I respect the money that you're making. I respect the people you're bringing into the company. Like
Hey, I might buy the OTC shirt because it looks fab.
It looks. So
It does. It looks great, and what I'm going to say is as well, like you can tell a style when you see one. The presence of that man when he was in the ring, the presence, like, unbelievable presence.
I will note this though. When obviously before when Roman was champion and stuff, the second he would enter, the entire crowd filled with wands. I did not see many wands up there in the crowd.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of because the theme threw them off. They weren't ready to react that
But
way.
then the second they saw
Why I
them, they
said what
would
I
throw
said.
wands up. But the crowd wasn't filled
Maybe
with as many
because
wands.
they're
as
worried.
before.
Maybe because they're worried Roman isn't going to be throwing the wands up. Maybe they're waiting for Roman to do like a new symbol to show his.
Throws up
Yeah,
the
there is that because the Bloodline Solo and everyone still do the ones. So
Yeah.
They
He goes
don't
like
want
this instead. It's 2 ones.
Nah, they do that. He does that now.
Where he goes like this instead because it's like OTC.
Oh yeah.
Well, this instead because he loves us.
But yeah.
Oh.
So the trainers you mentioned, they're called Air Reigns. They are Nike Air Jordans, but they're going to be. It's Roman Reigns doing the Superman punch is printed on it, and they look
Reese,
really
are you
cool.
going to get them?
I'm
100%.
definitely going to be looking at getting them.
I like the colorway though. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't like red.
But
I
yeah,
want them immediately.
I said
Uh,
red.
I literally this one started laughing. I was like, Ed, you've got red in your hair. I don't like red.
This was for Jey Uso.
Yeah, but he doesn't do red
He's
anymore.
blue now. You need
He's
blue.
blue now.
I can't have blue at work
Why can't you have blue at work?
because I just can't.
That's
Why
odd.
can you have red at work but you can't have blue?
Because red's not really like a outrageously odd hair color to have.
Red you can actually get naturally because of
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. I'm just joshing.
But anyway,
I've got loads of blue
we're
now.
going off too many tangents here, and we'll be here for the next 4 hours.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry. Yeah, wrap up, Ross. Go on,
If
sorry.
you want a 4-hour edition of the podcast, we'll do it at some point, I guess.
Outcasted OC after.
Hey,
hours.
Cultaholic did a 7-hour one for the WrestleMania, so you know.
Yeah,
Jeez.
they did a huge one.
I mean, I was drained after the live stream we did last week. I was like, oh my
Same,
goodness.
same. But yeah, so we got interesting things coming out, news-wise as well. We'll probably bring them up in the next podcast. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to want to talk about them on some of your TikToks. So if you guys want to follow us on our socials, all our links are in the descriptions of our videos. And we are on TikTok, we are on X, we are on Instagram. You can find all of our content here on YouTube. As always, we have every Tuesday, we get a Raw review, every Wednesday, NXT review, and then every Saturday morning, we have SmackDown review from either myself or G. So just keep an eye on the YouTube. And if you like it, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss when we actually upload.
Thank you for 400 subscribers.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we did 400. Yeah, no, great for mentioning that, Reese. Yeah. Thank you so much to everyone for the countless support you guys do.
Yeah, man.
Our
401
SummerSlam.
now.
Oh, 401, even better.
Let's go.
Up and up. Also, our SmackDown, not SmackDown, sorry. Our SummerSlam live reactions is the most viewed video we've had on the channel. So thank you so much for all the support of you guys
2K
coming through and
views.
watching that. It's huge for us
Love it.
and it doesn't go unnoticed. We
No,
really
yeah.
do appreciate everything you guys have done. But yeah, we hope you carry on watching us, doing what we do best. And yeah, we will see you all on the next podcast we do and the next reviews we do. So
Yeah,
with
man.
that, we will see you all next time.
Peace out, guys.
Jesus.